Get behind me, Doctor!
I am fully charged!
You are listening to Control Point, a Team Fortress 2 podcast with Brent Copeland, Eric Fullerton, Wes Wilson, and Spencer Williams.
Control Point, episode 43, recorded on August 10th, 2008. I'm Brent Copeland.
I'm Wes Wilson.
I'm Spencer Williams. It's August 10th already.
Yes.
Man.
I know.
Hey, where's Eric?
Eric is sick.
With pink eye.
It's really gross. It oozes.
Ew.
I know.
Grody.
Yeah, it's a... But I do have, and this is actually kind of gross too. I've got like one of those little coolers that you get, you know, when you do a lung transplant or something, you know, that like they transport the body parts in. And when I open it up, I've got Eric's unbloody eye in here. Can you see it? Can you see what I'm talking about? It's actually not bloody, unlike his other one.
Weird.
We just lost Spencer.
Why do you have Eric's eye? I don't understand.
Well, it was, you know, he's got one in his eye socket right now that is just red and oozy. So I've got, you know, the non-oozy one that used to be in there.
I think it's starting to inch now, too, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Should I scratch it?
Yeah, scratch it a little bit.
I don't think so. Also, here under the ice, we've got some new Machinima. We've got, we're going to do a map segment this week. How long has it been? When was the last map segment? Was it like 30?
We just did one last week. You just weren't here.
Yeah. It was a really good episode. You should have listened.
I did, actually. It was an excellent episode. I was a big fan, actually. You guys are funny.
I wonder what the thread is with all our really, really good episodes. I wonder if there's one thing that links them all together.
I don't know. Is it when I wasn't there?
I'm not pointing any fingers.
Anyway, and the last thing we've got some listener contributions. Dun dun. And it should be very exciting.
Hey, Spencer.
Oh, I just got it. You were saying that the biohazard cooler thing was our briefcase.
Yeah.
Oh. I see.
Yes.
Hey, Spencer, I think you're right.
Yeah. I miss Eric already.
So do you want to do Eric's week? You guys cards?
Yeah, I'll do Eric's week. Hello, I am Eric, and this week I got physically ill, and I have pink eye, and I have snot nose, and my lungs are hardening, and I am dead. Blah.
Wow.
That was Eric's week.
I miss Eric.
Yeah, he does his week better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to read all that off a index card. So who wants to go first for reading?
Why don't you go first?
I don't want to go first. You go first.
Okay, I'll go first. First off, I was out of town last week because I was off celebrating my 40th birthday in New York City. New York City! Yeah. It was a great time. We stayed in a really cool, kind of Art Deco hotel called the Empire Hotel. And it was like there were leopard print chairs and stuff in the rooms and brown sconces on the chocolate walls. And it was really cool. It was a great time. And we went and had dinner at some fantastic places. We went to this one Italian joint and I ordered a $45 veal chop, you know, one of those big tennis racket veal chops. And it was veal chop Parmesan. I'm like, how are they going to do this? And it was a recommendation from the waiter. He took that thing, butterflied it, pan-ate it, made it like a 1/4 inch thick, and then cooked it up, and it covered a plate, I swear to God, about 1.5 feet long. And all it was full of was veal chop Parmesan. And then we ate pizza.
Why are y'all trying to make me hungry?
Because I'm hungry. So anyway, but we had a great time. As far as gaming goes, I did do a lot of Goldrush this week.
Yes, you did.
And we had a great time. We were getting ready for our map discussion this week, and I focused a lot on like engineer and medic and pyro and what's the other one I play? Demo. Yes. I did a lot of that. And we had a great time. One interesting thing, as soon as I got back onto the servers after my birthday, some people brought up, hey, isn't there an age limit? Don't you have to be under 40 to play on these servers?
Oh, snap.
Ouch.
Wasn't that mean? That was just cruel. The only other thing I've been playing much of, I rented Bully for the Wii. Have you ever played Bully, Spencer?
I have it for the 360. I've played it a good bit, but I haven't finished it or anything.
I just got to chapter 4, I think it is. I've beaten. I finally beat the jocks. And,
well, you're further than I am, so.
And I'm actually having a good time with it. It's like GTA 3, but it's like Diet GTA 3. You don't have to worry about a lot of, there's no hookers, but there are, cheap little sluts. And there are, you don't have to worry about driving around a car, but you got a bike all over the place. You do bike races and you beat people up. You skateboard. And yeah, I'm having a great time with it. I'm actually a week overdue on my rental, and I don't want to take it back yet. I want to finish the game.
And this is the original Bully?
This is Bully Scholarship Edition for the Wii.
Okay. Yeah, it's they just sort of put out an update. And actually, I got it for the 360, and there's a whole bunch of bugs on the 360 version that have kind of kept me from enjoying it.
Oh, no.
Totally, so, yeah.
Well, they did a lot of stuff, like a lot of the tasks you have to do, like when you go to class, there are tasks you have to do to get certain bonuses and things like that. And like it's all, Wii-based motion stuff. So like you go to musical class and you got to play music and you use the things like instruments, So, but I had a good time with that, and then I played a lot of TF2, and we're going to talk about it in a little bit. So,
cool.
Who's next?
Talking about some Goldrush.
I guess I'll go next. Let's see. My week.
I know you played some TF2. I saw you.
I saw you too.
I did play some TF2. I was trying to think back though, because let's see. I'm kind of ashamed to say this, but on Tuesday night, I went to my local gaming shop here, Dueling Ground, and that's like role playing and tabletop gaming, not like computer gaming, and I played Vampire the Masquerade.
No way.
Yes, I did.
What
I played a Giovanni.
Really? Awesome. You played a Giovanni?
Yeah. I'd never played one before, and you've been playing the game as long as I have. You kind of look for stuff you haven't done before. Yeah. That's about all I haven't done before. Yeah, so I did that, and then I played some D&D the following night, and I did finally get some TF2 in as well. And let's see, I played one night, and Wes was there, and I really don't remember what maps we played. But I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I did too. I don't remember what we played either. I think it was just standard.
I remember I was trying to get on. You guys were playing the PL version of Dust Bowl.
Yes.
And I could never get on. I got on right at the end of that, and that was that. Then I finally got on, and we played other maps, and I don't remember what they were, but I remember you had a weird name. I was going to ask you about your weird name, because you had changed your name.
Well, have you seen Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog?
No.
Why not?
Oh, because it seems like an investment of time.
Okay, well, it's only like 40 minutes long, and that's if you watch all the credits.
Okay.
It's available on Hulu, and people were changing their names, and it all had to do with jokes in Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
What was your name again?
Dead Bowie.
Dead Bowie.
Yes, he's one of the members of the Evil League of Evil.
Oh, okay.
So,
I just thought you were being cute.
No, there was some other stuff that I don't want to repeat because it'll ruin jokes. But there was lots of Dr. Horrible names in there.
Gotcha.
Head Buddy is still Dr. Horrible is here. So, but we did have fun.
Good for him.
And actually, shortly before you joined, that I forgot about that PL Dust Bowl match. We had some epic defenses on that thing. I mean, it was, oh man, that was one of the most fun I've had playing the game in a while. There was this incessant income of death, and we handled it, and it was pleasurable.
You know, I've been working on getting a solid death income. My capital funds manager has been asking me why my death income is not higher. And
did you tell him we're in a death recession?
I did. And you know what he said? He said that's what losers say.
Well,
so I don't know. I'm thinking about firing him and getting someone a little bit more reasonable about my. And I can't string this joke on any longer. It's over. I'm done with it. I did play TF2 with you that night, and then I actually tried to play again later, and I just couldn't get on. I thought I had my problem solved. I thought it was my virus scanner, and I switched virus scanners, and it fixed for a while. But every once in a while, I try and start up TF2, and it locks up my computer for a good solid 7-8 minutes. And then after it's done being locked up, it unfreezes, and it then tries to load up TF2 and fails. And by that point, I'm so disgusted that I just walk away anyway. You know,
if it would make you a cake at the end of that, it might be worth it.
It totally would be, or if it would perform some... never mind. I did finally play. I actually played with both you and Brent, Wes and Brent, on a 24/7... What was it?
Goldrush server.
Goldrush.
And we can't remember the name of that we were on it. We can't remember the name. It was like something with RR. And we played. It was funny because I logged on and I wanted to play some, and I noticed nobody was on server 1 and server 4 was full. So then I was like, well, who's playing? I'm like, oh, well, Brent's playing. I'll join him. And he was on this 24/7 Dust Bowl server. And I thought it was server 1. I for some reason, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, and we ended up playing on there for a while. And people kept saying stuff that was confusing me because they didn't know about the podcast and stuff like that. And I thought we were on server 1 that whole time.
No, I was going to get on server 1, but no one was on there, and I didn't really feel like seeding it. I just want to get in and play some Goldrush.
Well, it was better too because people get whiny if you play the same map over and over on one.
That's true too.
Well, I hopped on, and there were only like 7 people on when I hopped on, and you guys were on defense, and I couldn't join your team, so I joined the offense team, and they did not have their stuff together at all. But using my solid heavy skills, I managed to take out your entire team and push the cart almost all the way to the end before I think Chaos, I think you finally killed me.
Probably.
And at that point, I checked and I could join your team, so I joined your team. And then we managed to push him back. So I pushed the cart all the way forward, switched teams, and then pushed it back. It was awesome.
And just for clarification from the chat room, it was Right to Rule 24/7 Goldrush.
Right to Rule, it was, yes. And there were some other CPers that eventually joined.
Well, it eventually turned into almost a completely CP event. I mean, after a little while, 75% of the people that were there ended up being CP people. But for a little while there were some new people we weren't familiar with. Everybody was nice. There was a little bit of racism, but after that, there was a complaint to some admins. It got booted, and we had a great time on their server. And thanks for hosting us, Right to Rule.
The funniest part, for me at least, was right when I was quitting, I was like, okay, when are we meeting tomorrow to do the thing? And we like had a little discussion like in public, in the game's public chat about when we're going to start recording and all that stuff. And right before I logged off, I heard one guy go, I have no idea what's going on right now. You guys, I don't know what you're talking about. What is going on? And I was like, okay, yeah. So that was it. That was my week.
We might have a couple new listeners because of it, because a few of the people were like, "Oh, a TF2 podcast, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're 42 episodes under our belt. We've done good." And he was like, "42 episodes?
I'm about to be 43.
I know.
Goldrush episode.
I know.
God, 40? Really? We've done that many?
Yeah.
Oh
it's
man,
43 this week. You quit?
I quit.
Man,
yeah, it's too much.
That is. Brent, we are so lucky. How long has it taken us to get him to quit?
Way too long.
I know.
Way too long.
Yeah, I'll see.
So anyway, how about your week, Brent?
Let's see. I got a fair amount of playing in on Goldrush. That's pretty much all I played all week long, and that's why I went to that server, because I was like, well, I don't have to worry about changing servers. And the only thing I didn't like about it was a 32 man. So I thought, strategies might change a little bit.
We never had that many on, though. I don't think it ever got over 24.
I don't know. You may be right. It seemed to be a lot of people scrolling off where I couldn't see them. Like when you logged on, I couldn't see you until you got your score up. Because we were ownsing until all the CP people came. When all the CP people came, our scores started going down.
It's true. We were completely owning, and then a bunch of CP people joined us. And next thing you know, I was like, this got harder. What's going on? Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So I was concentrating on medic and NG most of the time, and then I'd switch to soldier or demo man. I had to switch to. Yes. I never played demo man, but you've got to have one on Goldrush. But we'll get to that later on Goldrush. So that was about it for me. I got into beta for Warhammer, and that's about it.
Fascinating.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, Wes.
Did you? Yeah.
Knock, knock. Who's there? On the loudspeaker.
You're supposed to let him say who's there. I'm just saying.
No,
it's an easy joke. It really is. It's knock, knock, pause, and then you continue after they say who's there. You don't actually go, knock, knock, who's there, chicken, chicken, hurrah!
This has the potential to be a really great show, and we're ruining it.
Oh!
Okay.
I thought we lost Spencer there for a second.
Yeah, I thought we lost him earlier as well. Uh-oh.
I told you I quit. Jeez.
So, Spencer, are you done?
Yes.
On the loudspeaker, we've got a, this is old, isn't it? TF2 blog update? I didn't notice an update.
There wasn't another update, no. I don't think so.
Who did that?
I don't know, but...
Who copied this document?
Maybe it was they put the code in the source to add our link to the side.
Yeah.
They just haven't, taken out the comment
you've got a good point.
Yet. So maybe that was the update to the blog. So no real
Is
update.
that true?
Yeah, we're going to be on the side bar.
Oh, cool. You're totally lying to me, aren't you? You're lying to me so hard.
He's been reading The Secret.
Read the source code. You'll see it. So we also have, am I looking at the wrong one?
No, this is the right. We did have a thread where they are basically the people in the CP community made a plea for the CP host to stay off of the CP servers.
Yeah, I saw that thread.
Well, I've been doing it.
And the reasoning behind this is that if we're having more fun playing the game elsewhere, then perhaps, we should play the game elsewhere so that we have fun playing and we don't get grumpy about not playing.
Except I'm grumpy about the game, not about our servers. I mean...
Well, but I get grumpy about our servers sometimes.
Why?
Because he gets owned.
Because we have really good snipers and really good spies. And like I said,
I don't have that problem. I mean, I don't ever think, oh man, our servers suck.
Spencer, you're not Wes.
Yeah, and besides, you're usually playing a guy who has a personal little butt buddy that follows him around and keeps him extra healed all the time.
Yeah, and that helps how against snipers and spies? Your two complaints. It doesn't help at all.
Burn.
You can survive getting a shot by a sniper as a heavy. If you're fully
not a headshot. I mean,
but still,
what's your point?
Even a body shot will take out me.
Do you know how I avoid snipers? I just don't go where snipers are going to shoot me. I mean, that's almost my entire strategy of play. And I'm not saying that to diss you or anything. I'm just saying, that's the way I play. I avoid places where snipers can shoot me.
Okay.
So
I never thought of that.
This feels like the old days. You don't fight.
You know what, Wes? You know what, Wes? Wes?
Yes.
Shut up.
Anywho. So, but no,
I'll bring them all out, baby.
Now we did have a fun time on the 24/7 Goldrush server, and I've been playing a little bit on Stan's Lounge lately.
Did you just go back to your week?
No. Because we're talking about staying off the CP servers.
Okay. That's right.
I did play a little bit on Stan's Lounge, which is the GWJ server, because Boogle, sometimes I'll log on, Boogle will go, come play with us. So, and they are, I've got to tell you, playing on Stan's Lounge is intoxicating because there's not a whole lot of back chatter. You know, I mean, people will say stuff, but they're very, very concise. So you don't end up swamped with like a lot of chat. And you can really focus on playing the game, and they communicate, and you know where the Ubers are coming in, and you know when things are going on in the game, and it's really intoxicating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right to Rule was kind of like that, except for we were chatting.
I actually encourage chatter on our servers. I'm like the king of off-topic chatter on our servers. Whenever I'm on, I always go, some random statement here and there. I don't know. That's just, I enjoy that. So,
well, but see, you're concise. You know how to make something funny without talking for 5 minutes and having 5 seconds of funny.
I'm pretty sure that's debatable at this point.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love hanging out with all the people on the CP server, but God, we're a chatty bunch.
That's what I like about
chatty
our server.
Bitches. Oh my God. You're all a bunch of chatty bitches. Wes, you heard it here first. Wes thinks you're chatty bitches.
Did you see how
I'm in so much trouble.
I edited that for Eric? At least one of them.
Yeah. You put a beep in there. So, do we want to move on to our map discussion?
Do we don't have anything else? Okay, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're talking
doing,
about Goldrush.
Goldrush, yeah.
And this was the first payload map designed. Basically, it is a 3-segment map. The first 2 sections each have 2 points that you're trying to reach the cart to. And the last one has 3. The cart will roll forward as long as the attacking team, the blue team, has people around the cart. And as soon as there are no blue people around the cart, it will have a 20-second countdown before it starts rolling backwards slowly down the tracks. Once you reach a capture point, do they call it a control point?
I don't know what they call it, honestly.
Anyway, once your cart reaches one of these mile markers, it can't roll back farther than that. So there are logical segments of the game. Some interesting things that we've learned. The cart itself looks like a big bomb, and it has a healing aura, and it will heal the attacking players who are around it, which means that the defending players might have the attacking team coming towards them, but the blue players have sort of this mobile dispenser. Mm-hmm. One interesting thing.
It also replenishes ammunition.
Yes, but this is the interesting thing that we learned, and it was brought up in the Goldrush thread by Ordinary, Zinc Battery, and Quartermaster, that the dispenser properties that give out ammunition and metal only function in the rear portion of the cart. You cannot stand in front of the cart and get ammunition again.
Yeah, and that's about the only place, though, in the front. I mean, on the sides and in the back, you get ammo.
There's about 90 degrees on the front where you cannot get more ammunition from the cart. Now, because someone pointed out a recommendation, and that is that the cart with 3 or 4 people around it moves faster than the heavy does. So if the heavy puts himself in front of the cart and spins up, the cart will push him faster than he can walk.
So, but he can do it on top of the cart if he can get up there.
Yes, but the only point is that if you're doing that, you won't get any ammunition while you're standing in front of the cart.
But on top,
you also don't have the natural cover that the cart provides. That's also a point.
But anyway, thought that was very, very interesting. It's an attack defense map. Blue is attacking, red's defending, and there is a setup time. On a good chunk of what I think the setup time is for the red team to get some sentries up, get their Ubers ready, and get their teleporters in place. I do not think any of these maps function well without teleporters. I'd say teleporters are almost more important than sentries.
Hey, Wes.
Yeah.
Do you have your teleporter up yet?
Yeah, that was a running joke the other night. I was very proud because it was very important for me to get teleporters up and help everybody. And so every time I would put one up and they would start functioning, I'd be like, my teleporter's up. And then if one of them went down, everyone would pick on me. There's a teleporter here and it's not working.
It was funnier the other night, I guess.
It was.
So, it's good to have teleporters on the map, I hear. Where's a good place for a teleporter to go? Exit.
A teleporter exit?
Uh-huh.
Well, why don't we talk about the individual legs first off?
Sounds good.
The first leg of Goldrush, when the attackers come out, they are staring straight on to a small hill with a railway to the left and a small little cut through the hill towards another slight rise and a building on the right. The getting that building on the right set up is, I think, Red's priority for this, and getting up to the first control point and blocking off new Red players from getting in is Blue's major priority. Do you agree with me?
What'd you say about
not, I mean, on the defense side, not entirely. I've seen that building be very important, but I've also seen, we saw it last night. We saw someone set up a sentry right there on the left-hand side, behind that rocky outcropping right in front of the blue spawn. And they shut us down for a good 3 minutes with that. Now, they also had a sentry in the building, but we took that thing out in a good 5 seconds. So I disagree that the building is the most important thing for defense to do.
I would say clearing out that left side, just because you're going to get hit by the pyros, and NGs like to put them up on the rails up there on the wall. And there's a new good place that I've seen a lot of people putting it, where you can get to it without actually being up on the rock wall, and you can hit it from below.
Yeah, but my whole thing, though, is you're going to need a teleporter. The blue people are going to die and instantly respawn, or quickly respawn right where they were. Yeah. So that teleporter is going to be very, very important. So you need to have a base somewhere.
Yeah.
And the building is the only logical point, other than in the valley there underneath the railway. Yeah,
no. I think the building is the best place for. I thought you were talking about offense.
No, I'm talking about
offense.
I'm talking about. Well, I said that offense's major thing is to get to the first control point and block off new reinforcements from coming.
Yeah.
And defense's major thing is to get set up in that shack and hold off that first initial rush of Ubers.
Yeah, I agree. Because as soon as you get rid of that teleporter too and clear out the team from that area, it's pretty easy to hold it with just the tunnel there.
Yes. It is very difficult for defenders to push through that tunnel and not get significantly destroyed once the offensive force gets up there.
Yeah. I would say actually like a good strategy to start off with is send your Ubers out to the left to clear out that area if there's guns there, and you'll know where most of the sentries are before you start, and send a spy and maybe a demo man into the building to get rid of the teleporter. Not even worrying about the gun as much as the teleporter. Get that teleporter down.
And usually there are a couple of snipers on the second floor of that building. I have yet to see a better sniper spot. It's got nice shade. Usually there's a dispenser or something up there to help out the snipers. And it's got fantastic line of sight.
Yeah, it's almost like they built it like that.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. So what is you guys, your experience is playing sniper? How do you?
The huge experience. I played sniper the other night.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
Yeah, I felt like I really suck at playing sniper.
Really? Did you?
Yeah, I actually did too. I not on Goldrush, but I hopped on sniper on what was it? Well, CTF, I think.
Yes, we played that. Yeah. We played that.
And yeah, I didn't hit anything.
Did you feel your soul die a little bit, each of you?
No. I really used my sniper is to get rid of the NGs that were sitting there whacking on the sentries.
That's logical.
That was about all I was good at. Otherwise, I was just missing shot as people were running by.
Yeah, that's all I did. I'm just a terrible sniper, and I know it. And someone actually said, "Wow, Spencer, great near hit there," and I was like, "Yeah, whatever."
Well, okay, moving on. In Goldrush, do we want to move on to the next point?
Well, have we covered this one completely?
I have just a quick comment in general, and this is something that we don't really take into account that much. I played Goldrush with full teams and without full teams, and it's a drastically different game.
It is.
If you've got 12 players versus 24 or 26 or however many we have on our servers, because that's what I was playing last night. It was about 12 people, and that shack was of minor importance because there just wasn't the offensive push that you get with 12 full people on your team. So the shack was far less important than just holding the middle area. So, I'd say that makes a big difference in how you're going to play your game.
I've been noticing a lot of people lately too. I've been getting on a lot of teams that are medic and sniper heavy. Has anyone else been noticing this lately?
I can't say that I have, no.
And I find that with the fewer number of people in the game, obviously, okay, if you've got 2 medics, 2 snipers, a pyro, and a demo, your offensive ability is extremely hobbled. And with Goldrush, when we were playing the other night, I noticed that, yes, when it got down to like less than 12 people on the server, it was a completely different game. And those support classes were hurting the group. You needed more direct damage to stop the cart from moving.
Yeah.
So
you need more direct damage, or you need more demo men?
The demo men are very, very important in this level.
Honestly, Valve has gone on record, or someone at Valve has gone on record saying that they think demo men are overpowered, and this is where it really shines through, as far as I'm concerned. And that may be where that summation came about, was in their play testing of the PL maps. But that's sort of man, nothing will stop an offense like a demo man. Just one demo man.
Well,
that's they're really the only good ways of getting rid of those shots are, pyros, which are of limited use otherwise on an offense team, or B, soldiers who, they have limited ability to do it. So I kind of see where they're coming from, saying demo men are overpowered after playing a lot of Goldrush, personally.
Let me ask you this, because I swear I saw this. Now, I don't play demo man much, so I don't really know the physics of a lot of their stuff, but when you blow your stickies, if there's the opposite team stickies there, does it blow them up too, or does it shoot them away?
They get scattered.
Okay.
They get scattered, yeah.
So I guess it was just lag or something. It looked like my sticky, because I had the cart all stickied up, waiting for them to come up there. And the demo man came up, dropped some stickies, and mine were just gone. I guess just in the blast, you don't see them fly to the side.
The thing is, the demo man, if you know someone is going to be in a particular place at a particular time, he's really, really deadly. So you've got this cart.
And that's what PL is all about. I mean, there's you have to hit the cart. I mean, on other maps, you've got the control points, but the control points are a static target that can be reached from multiple points, whereas the cart is the goal for the offense. So I'm not making myself very clear here, but I'd say that it's a different dynamic, and one that, in my opinion, again, my opinion, this is not gospel fact, and send your hate mail, I don't care, makes the demo man a bit on the unbalancing side.
It's I admit he's a very powerful character on this map, but I also think that sentries on the whole are pretty powerful on this map, because you've got, some places that are specifically designed for a slow moving offense to come into sight of lots and lots of death.
I would agree with that, but I'm also of the opinion that at this point in the game's life cycle, sentries need all the help they can get.
Yes.
So it again, different dynamic there.
But the thing that kind of sucks about it is it's not like it's great for one engineer. It's great if you've got like 20 engineers. You need at least like 3 engineers on this map.
Holy crap!
Agreed.
That second. I mean, we haven't gotten to the second leg yet, but that second leg. That is engineer heaven right there.
It almost seems like overkill to me. It's like, now we've got to have this many engineers. And
yeah, well, and that's one of the things I noticed. I knew that there were times where we'd be on defense and we'd have no engineers. And I'm like, what? and it's completely illogical not to have any engineers. It's, only slightly more illogical to only have one, because you need to defend those things. But at the same time, I mean, you've got these zones that have to be covered. It's a required class. I think Demo Man, Medic, you have to have some Ubers working. You have to have some sentries going. And I do think that on the whole, you have to have at least one soldier as well. The need to clear out things, be they sentries or stickies or things like that, makes the soldier indispensable as well.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that.
There are some very large open spaces here where little nooks and crannies will have sentries in them as well. And part of the goal of the soldier is to flank the map, find the angle they can shoot the sentry at, and take those sentries out. Because I think that the Ubers on the whole are only 50% of the sentry strategy. And Brent's just nodding at me. On the first leg of stage one interesting thing, if you're a good demo, you can plop a sticky down and shoot yourself, a good chunk of the way across the map, get into that shack pretty quick, and take out a lot of the buildings, as best you can. A demo on on the sniper deck ledge in front of the shack can really terrorize all the buildings inside that shack.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a good place for an exit teleporter too, to hide. Is behind those boxes on the left as you come out onto the sniper deck.
Oh yeah. Moving on to point 2, because we really need to hustle. We have a really big choke point in this tunnel. Huge choke point.
For real?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I know, it's hard to believe.
You're kidding me.
And I think that soldiers and demo men are particularly deadly here until the offense gets frustrated and start using the side tunnels that have just opened up.
See, I go straight for the side tunnels.
I'm getting to where I do.
It's just,
I do too. I mean, again, as a heavy player, actually on offense, I really like this map as a heavy. I mean, all PL maps in general, because I have a mobile dispenser. But beyond that, especially on that shooting gallery, which is sort of what I think of it as, where it's just, a single choke point in for the cart. There's a back way in as well, but it's generally ignored unless, the room is full of sentries and stuff. But that back tunnel is the way in if you're going to take out those sentries, and it's really easy to do so. So I actually like that area. I think it's pretty well balanced in terms of offense and defense, in my opinion. I think a lot of Goldrush is balanced towards defense, but this area has enough of a workaround for offense to get an edge. So
I find that defensive setups in the far left side are critically important and also extremely flawed. Like, in that section off to the, you're coming as an attacker through the tunnel there on the left, those buildings, no one's saying anything.
The building straight across from the cap point.
Yes. Like if you were going over the cap point and you just head straight ahead, all those buildings, defensive structures in there are very, very useful for preventing the offense from getting a good grip. But I also find they're very, very exposed, and I found it very difficult as an engineer to keep stuff alive in there for very long.
Yeah, but I think the pantry is a great place that you got to keep going through.
The pantry?
And cleaning it out and making sure they're not building up there.
The pantry. Is that because of all the medic kits and the ammo in there?
I just call it a pantry.
Snipers are particularly deadly in 2 places here. For offense, if you get onto that ledge where if you take the far right gate coming out of stage 1 area and go to the right and up, that ledge there is very deadly for offensive snipers, and defensive snipers right there underneath the tower above the spawn point is brutal.
Yeah.
A good sniper up there can really cause a lot of pain. and there's a lot of stuff to duck behind, and you can't always see the people that are over there. So,
yeah, and getting an engineer up to that sniper deck from the right grate
yes,
up there, getting a teleporter up there, getting a sentry up there is almost just as good as getting in the pantry and setting up upstairs.
yes. Now, I think getting offensive into the pantry, if you can get some offensive setups in there, I think that can be immensely important.
Yeah, you get a demo man up there on the second floor of the pantry, some soldiers. You usually need an NG up there to hold it, but
two things that we learned. I saw a YouTube video. If you come out of the defending spawn and you take a right, and then you take another right, like you're heading towards the battle, on the left there is a popular engineering building spot where a sentry usually goes. If you're careful, you can build a sentry up there, get up on top of it, and have access to it even a higher ledge up there. I haven't seen that many people do it. Brent says he has, but there's a video on YouTube to get up to this really, really high sentry spot that, for the most part, only an engineer can get to it, unless, apart from rocket jumping and things like that. But your stuff's not going to get sapped. You'll be up there, and no spy can get up there. Additionally, if you want to get into the gated areas from defense, there is a sewer pipe coming out of the wall there in the ravine near the first cap point.
Yeah, on the wall of the building. Like if you're going under the bridge, you'll be looking right at the end of the pipe.
Right. And if you get onto the ledge on the right and then jump onto the pipe, supposedly, now we haven't been able to actually pull it off yet, you can turn and then jump onto the ledge, and everybody but a heavy and a soldier can do it because they're not fast enough. But
the soldier can just rocket jump up there.
Right. But I've actually seen an NG get behind the grates and have a fully upgraded sentry ready to go once Cap Point 1 was taken.
Nice.
It was pretty nice. So do we wish to move on to Cap Point to the second section? Spencer?
Sure.
Sure. So that was 1-2.
That was 1-2. Yeah.
Are we going to do any defensive stuff on there? Like sentries above the cap point on that level?
I think the defense on there is just so self-explanatory that it doesn't even really need to be talked about. You stack with sentries, you stack with heavies, you stack with soldiers, you send in spies to disrupt the cart, and you're pretty much golden. I mean, I see so many offenses get stopped by such simple defensive tactics here that really, do you need help? Really? You need help with that? That's all I'm saying.
One thing I have noticed is that on defense, a lot of times, people will forget to defend their spawn against that left hallway. So if you get a pyro up there harrying the spawn from that left tunnel, you can cause a lot of problems on the defense.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so we have moved on to the second leg and the first section of the second leg. And of course, just to be oh my gosh, let's go backwards in time thing. In playing the other night, I did learn one thing, that there is never any reason to play an offensive engineer right off the bat on Goldrush. You can't build anything during the setup, and everything is going to be uber destroyed at the beginning anyway. So play another class and then move into it.
Probably a medic.
Yeah,
help
medic.
That Ubercharged.
Yeah, medic.
Another thing real quick is watch the arrows for which way it is to the control point, because I can't tell you how many times I've been playing D on leg 1 and come out and I'm waiting at the gate.
Oh, really?
And then I'm like, where's everybody else? And like, oh, they're setting up. We're that way. That was really just on the 24/7 because you're just coming out of the different gates so often, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll try to make myself feel better that way.
So, leg 2, section 1, and I'm trying to get it in my head right now.
Dun, 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 dun. Wes is getting section 2-1 in his head.
Okay. Yes. Okay. On this one, there are 2 entrances to attack by. You can go down the left side and you end up in sort of a little side trench that runs beside the whole map. And then there's a Dust Bowl Leg 2 style trench. There to the right. I think it's very important for the defensive engineers to get a fully upgraded Sentry as soon as possible in this section of the map.
Which ones?
The offensive. The offensive engineers need to get a fully upgraded Sentry because there is going to be an Ubered Pyro come up, and you need missiles to knock him back and keep him away from destroying everyone at your spawn.
Or just a Pyro.
A Pyro?
You know, these days you can have a Pyro do it. So.
Or we did a triple Uber the other night. Were you in that?
I don't know.
I thought you were in that.
I don't know. I might have been.
Where we had the Soldier Kritzkrieg, and then we had an Uber on him and then an Uber on the medic.
No, I missed that.
Oh, that's scary.
That's truly terrifying.
Yeah, it's two wasted Ubers is really what it is. But it was kind of cool to see it. I was like, I wonder if this will work.
So you had the critting medic Ubered, the soldier Ubered, and Kritzkrieg.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it worked.
That's pretty brutal. But I think I would have chosen heavy.
It really didn't matter.
Really?
I mean, you're still wasting two Ubers.
Because everybody got out of the way. And it wasn't
really, what's better? Two Ubers and one Kritzkrieg? Or one guy who's Kritzkrieg Ubered?
Yeah.
You're probably right.
So you can come out the Dust Bowl style trench, and there is a lot of death there. There's a lot of suffering and a lot of pain and anguish.
Just like Leg 2 of Dust Bowl. So.
Yeah. But I really don't find it as hard to fight its way out of as Leg 2 of Dust Bowl.
No, it's definitely not. You do have the added bonus of a mobile dispenser that also provides you mobile cover. You know, that's always a bonus for the offense that needs to be kept in mind.
Yes, because it will block sentries and they won't lock onto you if you're behind them.
Now I have found
block rockets. It'll block heavy fire. It'll block a lot. So.
And that's one thing I do try to do. If I ever find myself alone near the cart, I will crouch behind it and try to use it for cover.
Yeah, because I think some people lose, if they don't see you standing there, they lose the sight that it's actually moving.
Yes.
But this is a good one to come out the side and come around behind the defense. Usually there'll be a sentry if you come out the left side and around the building. There'll usually be a sentry up there, one under the bridge or one over in the dark alleyway. But depending on what class you are, you can really do a lot of damage from over there.
Yes. The new sentry.
The damage.
What was that, Spencer?
I said damage.
The new sentry spot that I saw recently that I had never seen before was underneath the bridge in that little trench. People were building sentries there facing back towards where offense came from or where defense came from. And a teleporter set up there and a dispenser set up there. And it did a surprising amount of damage because it would hit anybody who was trying to get to the other sentries. The sentry on, like, if you're in the attacking and you go past the buildings on your right, that little dark cubby hole back there that Brent was mentioning is probably one of the most devastating sentry points.
And I don't really get it, though. It's so vulnerable if you don't just try to take it head on. You've got the tower above it, which you can use a tactic of jumping down behind the engineer to kill the engineer.
Yes.
You got all the way across the map where you can do damage to it. And it's so open back there. It just seems odd to me.
Well, it's extremely vulnerable if the defense has left anything uncovered. If there is a pyro running around that side tunnel, then you don't have to worry about it being taken out from over there. If you've got defense, if you've got enough triangulated sentry stuff going on, in general, it's pretty safe.
Yeah, I think it's really good on more so probably on pickup maps.
Yes.
Probably not for, clan play. Because so many people just run past and get blown up without, the sentry's there on the right. Whereas the clan play, they're going to be sentry on the right and they're going to take it down, The
buildings to the right when you're attacking, when you come right out of the trench and they're on the right there, a heavy and a medic up there can be absolutely devastating.
True.
Especially since there's some good ammo refills and health refills in case the medic gets hurt or the heavy runs out of ammo. The main thing you've got to worry about is spies.
Soldier also works well.
I think that building stuff in the left-hand building, the 2-story one, I haven't been very successful at building sentries over there. Have you guys?
As the offense or the defense?
As the defense.
Defense. I haven't really tried. I try to do it on offense.
Yeah, I have no experience with that. So
you can point one out the door and cover a nice little arc there. And I've seen some good results from that. I also think it's a really good teleporter location to have a teleporter exit in there. But it's extremely vulnerable to demos shooting things in the window from the other side.
Yeah.
I have yet to find any good reason to put a sentry on that far building in the back.
The real small kind of zigzag room you're running through? Okay.
Yes. Defense. I think the main defense goal is to hold people at the cart for as long as possible and keep that hallway clear on the right side so that nobody can get around behind the defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Offense, I think the goal is to get behind the defense, destroy their teleporter exits before you worry about trying to move the cart.
And be spy checking. You always need to be spy checking here. I just feel like I should throw that out there. Offense needs to be spy checking all the time.
So you've captured leg 2-1, and now you're on leg 2-2.
And this opens up side entrance on the left.
Yep. I have found, just like there are sniper decks where you end up in sniper wars, I think that little hallway up there turns into the spy versus NG war.
I think what it should be is you should be sending people up there every chance you get as the defense and clearing it out completely.
Yes. I found that as an engineer, it was really important for me to keep a teleporter up there and a dispenser up there for the snipers. I found that a remarkably hard thing to do.
I noticed.
You know, we were actually talking, was it last week, about strategies that people kind of ignore these days? Was that last week we were talking about that?
I believe it was, yes.
Yeah. The pyro standing back and guarding engineers, I don't see as much as I used to. And I feel like it would be very, very handy. This is one situation where it would be very handy just to have a pyro on constant spy duty. I mean, I just think it would work.
Well, I think that the teleporter up there it puts you in a good place to go in a variety of directions. And if you can keep the teleporter alive up there, then you're doing a good thing. And I don't think I think it is well worth it to have a pyro on duty up there with at least one engineer, because you can drop down over there on that left side. You can jump out that right window, or if you want to, you can just run quick back down the stairs and go through the tunnel in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the key to get a lot of the sentries down from up there. It was great. I saw 2 spies working it together. There was, and I was dead, so I was just watching from the view of a spy. Spy sapped one of the sentries on the left side of the building. Mm-hmm. The other spy was up in the window just shooting it with his gun. Got it down. It was awesome.
I've been trying to pay attention to that a lot lately. When I see anything that is being sapped, I try to shoot it, because every little bit helps. And you know, because a lot of times as an engineer, you can even know the spy is coming, shoot at him. He can sap, you can turn, he keeps sapping, you know, while you're trying to beat it down. And if anybody hits that thing while he's putting these repeated sappers on there, it'll go down.
And you know, the one thing that I think I see the most spies lack in is communication. I think that's the biggest problem I see with spies. And if they would let people know when they're about to sap something or they're coming in to sap something, I think it could really help the team a lot. I mean, there's a time sorry, go on.
I agree. I just think that's part of the intrinsic spy mindset of you're a man on your own. I think a lot of spies think that way.
Yeah, and I agree.
So, defensive sentry guns, there's a couple of obvious spaces. Coming out of your spawn, immediately to the left, there's a little ramp that covers the final point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's obvious and very important, I think, if you can defend one there. Because once that cart starts moving forward, you're in trouble. Now, it's not going to work if the cart is just in front of where the sentry gun can shoot and then it starts moving. Because then it leaves a possibility for an Uber, and an Uber at that point in time will kill. I mean, there's just no way that gun can last. There is, like, if you go to the right side and you go up onto the ramp and through the building, you can get around onto the second floor of that kind of that building just to the right of the tracks. And I think a sentry up there is very, very useful as well. If you don't go out on that ledge and instead stay in the building, you can have that sentry that points towards where the cap point exits on the rails. That sentry point is deeply, deeply flawed, because if you are attacking and you come across point 2-1 and then you go to the right and you keep your back to the wall, you can slide into view of that sentry gun and just shoot rockets at it all day long and it'll never shoot you.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of places like that on the map where you really need your sentries helping the other sentries.
Yes.
Or people will be able to take it out that way.
Is it just me, or is this entire map built for sentries? I mean,
it is.
It is.
And I've kind of kept to myself here because honestly, I don't really like Goldrush all that much, partially for that reason. I don't play to play against sentries generally. I play to play against other people. And I find that if I'm on offense on this map, then generally speaking, I'm going to be playing against sentries. So,
well, it's kind of like tower defense.
Yeah, I don't much like that either.
Now, as you come out of the tunnel from 2-1, as you're attacking, immediately to the right is a ledge that is also another really, really good spot for a sentry. The particularly evil thing is one would think it could be shot from that window in the upper ledge on the far left, and you can sort of get at it, but you're going to have to hit it with splash damage. You can't get a direct shot on it. And I think this is one of the bloodiest parts of the whole map, of the whole Goldrush scenario, is this second leg of number 2 is brutal and deadly and cruel.
Just like Dust Bowl. I really think they took their pacing almost directly from Dust Bowl on this, because it works out about the same way. Just like leg 2 of, or section 2 of leg 2 of Dust Bowl is a bloody, bloody affair where more often than not, if you see an offense get turned around, it's right here. It's the same thing here.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to 3-1.
On to 3-1.
3-1. This is a really weird starting area. I am not totally comfortable with it yet. It's got so many variables on this opening area that I really still don't feel like I have a grip on it. There are so many ledges where you can put things that it's so convoluted, the various areas you can enter the map from both offense and from defense. It's just really weird.
If you're on defense, make sure you go up the stairs. Don't turn around and go out the other door, or you'll be running the long way.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I think this is another good place to have a sentry in the backfield by the spawn, because they can get back there, and they can actually do, I think, a lot more damage when they get in the backfield on this one, because there are so many ledges and stairways and bridges that they can hide a little better and get things set up and Ubers and just blow you up.
This is a horrible, horrible spy zone. I mean, this is just spy hell right here.
Or heaven, you know. It could be heaven, depending on your opinion on spy hell.
This particular map, I think, is very, very offensive teleporters are invaluable. Additionally, I think a fully upgraded sentry right on the platform when you're an attacker is important to keep, because this can be spawn camped by an Ubered pyro, and it's devastating. Everybody just keeps getting quiet after I say these things.
I'm not used to doing map discussions.
I know.
Yeah, I'm off my game, and I don't really like this map to begin with. So
I like the map. I think on the offense here is another one of these where you need to kind of clear out stuff before you get going. I mean, you can push it a little bit in as you're running by and stuff, but I think you really need to take out all the sentries that are stopping you up there.
Yes, and basically, if you go to the right and up, you get to a nice little window that I think, hopping some Ubers out that window are really valuable. You just run them straight through and kill as much as you can. The bottom left passage seems to put too much delay on you. You end up having to run too far to get into the combat, and I don't find it as useful at the beginning.
okay.
This is another really bloody stretch. Keeping sentries alive here is difficult on the defense. There's lots of little nooks and crannies and things to, jump around. So there's not much as far as like safe zones. I think we should just move on to the next section unless you have something you want to comment on.
I do want to comment on, I thought I was playing Pyro a lot on that stage, and a good tactic I found was as the defense, is you come into basically the big room, that whole starting area for Cap 1, go around the right side, around the buildings where all those stairs are that go down into the stuff, and just keep going around. And there's a building with like a small health and small ammo, and with a balcony that kind of overlooks the exit. You can jump from there over to the other side, like over the ravine, and you can get behind people really easy that way because they can't see you because of the building.
Yes.
And so you can just get right behind them, and with the back burner, you can just clear out half a team in like 2 seconds.
Yep. Agreed. So section 2 here usually runs pretty quick. It's really bloody, but it's usually pretty quick. It's very rare I see this point defended.
Yeah.
I think generally if the defense is going to happen, it almost always happens on leg 2. So,
well, and the problem,
get to 3,
and the biggest problem is as soon as they get that first point, it closes that door, and now everybody has to run all the way back from the back to catch up, get to the front, and so
now if you've had
points are hard to defend.
And if you've had a clever engineer who's gotten set up to defend point 2, because at point 2, if you're standing on point 2, directly behind you is a nice platform for engineering stuff. There could be a teleporter there. You've got to be in full view of everything to get to it. And if you've got a clever engineer, you can get things set up there quickly, so that once point 1 falls, point 2 is ready to be defended. But I'm not sure it's not worth it. I'm not sure it's not worth more to defend point 1 and then let 2 fall and heavily defend point 3. So, and there's a lot of weird crisscrossies. So like the both sides have those raised areas that you can get to, and it ends up being a lot of jumpy, grenadey, deathy stuff.
Yeah. I think this is a great map, or a great leg for Pyros, definitely, for all these little switchbacks and little rooms and cut-ins.
This is also a good demo in Soldier Zone. It's my favorite
leg of the map, especially the second part as a heavy. It's just fun. You got that. It's just fun. Lots of killing, lots of death.
Get someone to make that one leg as like a map in itself.
That would be cool.
I think it's called Cyberpunk.
Ooh, someone needs to add a cart to Cyberpunk. Nice thinking, Wes.
Oh, anyway. God, no. The cart's going to play music. The cart's going to play music, and it's going to be terrible.
It's going to be a moving boombox.
A siren on top of it.
I love this.
So, leg 3. This is a really confusing little leg. Unless you've thoroughly explored the area, there are all kinds of exploits for almost everything you can imagine.
Yeah, you can get to a lot of places that you don't think of.
Yes. There is, for instance, as you're on offense and you pass point 2, on the left there's a little hole, and if you drop down, you end up in a tunnel system that goes to the ravine right next to point 3. Additionally, there's a stairwell that goes up to a sniper deck that's kind of behind the spawn area. Not really, but it's sort of to the left and the rear, back and to the left, back and to the left,
and to the left.
Additionally, if you are coming in as offense, you can go to the left there up that ramp, and there's a little setup area up there right before the bend. If you come from 3-2 and you go to the right, there's that whole little building segment there with the drop in, so you can drop right next to the cap point and start harassing people.
And that's a good one too. There's some crates and barrels that you can jump up onto after jumping down there. So then you can jump onto a small building, which then you can jump onto the sniper deck.
Yes.
And it's great for spies to get up there. I see engineers put sentries up there every once in a while, but as a pyro, you can just lick it around the corner and blow it up.
But it's very confusing, and there's a lot going on. Now, I do see this defended a lot. If offense isn't on their game, but there's so many angles that offense can come in at that if they put some teamwork together, usually they can crush almost anything. And everybody's quiet again.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about when we were playing Sunday night and jumping down the hole, and there's two heavies there just trying to fist me. When I say fist me, I mean punch me. I think.
Uppercut.
It was
with sexy results.
And one of the guys was named Dildo, so you never know.
I had
sexy
really
results.
I did one of those okay, I'm defending. I walk across the bridge to the far side of the ravine, and then I take a right, and I head straight forward, and I go up on that ledge that sort of looking back at the cap point. I spent a lot of work trying to defend my sentry that I put up there, but because of those sniper windows that are back and to the left, back and to the left,
and to the left, and to the left.
Wow. Those sniper windows caused me a lot of problems, and basically I had to get somebody to watch that whole zone for me so I could keep my sentry alive. Keeping a sentry alive there is a 2-person deal.
Yeah, and that's also partially there's a responsibility there for the engineer to let people know when there's a sniper back there, because you'll see the blue dot.
Yeah,
before you get hit probably. So let people know.
And I would pull out my pistol a lot and just harry people that were running around up there. Just, because if until the cart got close to where I was usually pretty safe.
Right.
Attacking building, that little ledge on the left just before the final bend is great for teleporters and sentries and all that kind of stuff. Easily defended. There's a 200 unit metal thing up there. Really, really nasty. On the right, usually is the sniper deck for offense. And then if you go around the corner, there's a little bridge that people stand on. And I think that once blue gets a solid hold on this bend, red really can't fight back very much.
Now, there was a good spot we got into in that corner that we went down. Like, if you're looking from the defense at that bend, you can go to the bend and there's a doorway on the left.
Yes.
Which then you can go down into a bunker. And we kind of held it off for a little bit. They got blown up, but
that's just it. Is that it was really vulnerable to demos who knew we were down there.
Yeah, but after you died, we stayed there until we ran out of ammo. And that was the other problem.
Yeah.
I think
there's no ammo down there.
I think there may be some, but small or something.
Tiny bit. Well, I think we've covered the map. I did get some recommendations on the boards, and I'll skim over some of these.
Oh my God. Seriously. It's been so long since we actually asked you guys for content. I guess you've been saving up, because holy crap. It's like we uncorked a barrel that was being filled from a waterfall. There is so much stuff here. I'm not saying it's bad. Thank you guys. There's no way we can actually read all of this, but go ahead, do your skimming there, Wes.
Okay. Zach Vedel made some class recommendations. First, he said, Demo Man, put your stickies on the track. This is an obvious tactic, but it's still amazingly good. Basically, you make sure that the tracks are always stickied, so as the cart comes forward, you can blow the hell out of people. If people aren't looking very well, you can get them good. With the spy, you want to try to get behind the cart always. Once you get behind the cart, you will even get healed by it. It treats you like a friendly unit. And if you can get back to their spawn and run towards the cart from their spawn, you'll fool them almost all the time. It's very rare, for you not to get at least one kill off on that. Pyros, he recommends basically playing a waiting game. I'm 50-50 on that. I think a mobile pyro is way better than a lurking pyro, but I did find myself waiting at a few very important corners to torment people as they got closer. Soldiers, rush the cart, stay on the cart, and shoot at the feet. Long distance splash rockets may not kill people that are surrounding the cart, but they definitely will make it so they're not getting the health back that they're trying to leech off of it. Sniping is easy. Snipe the people at the cart. Medics, build counter Ubers, use counter Ubers, repeat. You always
needs to be on a t-shirt.
Yes. You need to make sure that you are always the second person to activate your Uber. That's what you want. Engineers, get a pair of engineers and try to keep your choke points secured. If you can manage to get 2 engineers to focus on a particular zone, they will be way more effective than 1 engineer in each of 2 zones. Scouts, spy check. But do you think there's much use for scouts on Goldrush? Other than getting that last little grab right at the end to make it move that last 2 inches to fall in the hole.
I see people play scouts defensively a lot, and I think it works. Because people tend to be focused on the cart, and a scout that has some good hit and run tactics can really, really annoy a defense. I don't know if they can stop a defense, but they can sure as heck distract them and let the pyros get in or something.
No, I think if you do have a scout on there on offense that, once you kind of clear out the area and you're moving the cart, instead of everybody staying back there, just have a scout on it and maybe one other person or something. Everybody goes forward to keep the front cleared and keep moving it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, I'd rather have a different class there.
Okay. There's basically heavy, stick with your medic, shoot pyros. From Johnny Napalm, on stage 1, offense, don't ignore the building to the right of the first cap point even after you've taken it. An aggressive defense will keep trying to build stuff in there. Spawn sweep a lot. Spawn sweeping is particularly deadly for defensive people to do on the offense. From Quartermaster, every second cap has a building that, if taken by offense, means that they attack far easier with a second route of attack. I don't understand what he's trying to say there, but basically, after each initial cap point, some stuff opens up, and it's always important to pay attention to that.
I think he's saying like on stage 1, you have the building across from the cap point. Stage 2, you have the sniper decks. Mm-hmm. Stage 3, you've got the I guess the sniper deck that we're talking about behind them and those kind of side areas.
Yeah, just always be aware of what opens up. Okay, from Sigma Sign, he pointed out the pipe on leg 1-1 or 1-2, pardon me. He points out also, and I think this is a really nasty little defense. As a blue demo on stage 1, you can use a sticky to jump onto that. Oh no, wait. I'm sorry. That's not what he's talking about. I already mentioned that one. But I do think that a demo, a defensive demo who stickies over into that left part just after 1-1, and you can lock down that tunnel with stickies and grenades. So as the attackers come in on the far right tunnel, I think that demos can defend that tunnel very easily and very successfully with grenades and stickies. I already talked about moving yourself faster as a heavy. He points out, as a red NG, think about setting up your dispenser farther back and then a far forward gun. So, what you do is you put an initial gun out there to get 2 or 3 kills and slow down the initial offensive push, but that gun's going to go down. And meanwhile, you've got your dispenser building up metal farther back where you're ready to build your sentry that's going to last.
It's a good strategy in a lot of places, not just on this map.
And then as a blue soldier or demo man on stage 3, try to get up to the sniper deck on the last point. There's a small health pack. You can hit most of the gun positions on the last sniper deck, and you'll also have the ammo of the dead snipers that you kill. I think those are all good. Uber Toast brings up spawn camping. K. Burnell says that a heavy medic and an engineer upstairs in the right-hand area above 1-2 is particularly deadly. What you do is you keep the heavy and medic up there with a counter Uber so that if somebody tries to come up there, you have the heavy block the doorway. Ubered. And he says it's particularly nasty. And then we brought up with ZC Battery and Quartermaster the angle of ammo replenishment behind the cart. Okay. Yep. So moving on, we have an email. This is from Lou Anubis, and he wanted to ask our opinions on Goldrush. He was looking at the stat page and noticed that red won Goldrush approximately 80% of the time. So defense wins 80% of the time. Do you think red winning an overwhelming number of times is a problem? And one of the reasons.
It's one of the reasons I don't like the map so much. I mean, it's impossible to have a perfectly balanced offense-defense map. You have a gravel pit where, offense is virtually guaranteed to win and basically turns into who's going to win faster in terms of who wins. But I swear, and maybe I'm off on this, I see a lot fewer one-sided fights on Dust Bowl than I do here. And maybe that's because people know Dust Bowl better, maybe. But it seems to me that I kind of feel why am I playing this map when I could be playing one more fun, honestly.
We had a great time. Brent and I had a great time on the 24/7 Dust Bowl server, and I actually found that I liked it more and more the longer I played. Yeah. The more and more I got to focus on individual nooks and crannies of that map, the more fun I was having. And maybe it's still a little bit of my fresh, attitude on it. I'm not burnt out on it. So it still seems like it has interesting and new things.
Yeah, for the most part, even still, I find places that I'm like, oh, I didn't know you could get up there, or I didn't know you could get down there. And so it's I think you're right, Spencer. I think it's still a relatively new map compared to the other ones. And I think people are still learning some strategies on there. And we hadn't done a podcast about it. So now I think the map will probably be much more fun for you.
Nice.
One thing I do think is important to keep in mind that even though red might win 80% of the time, that doesn't mean that they're winning 80% of the cap points. Do you get my drift?
You need to put that another way.
In other words, okay, you've got 7 points in an average Goldrush session. So, red loses lots of points along the way, even if they might hold off at any one of them. The odds of them holding off blue are 80% that they'll hold them off on 1 point, but the battle for each point is completely different, and blue will win a lot of those. So that 80% number is a little wonky.
Yes and no. I mean, the end goal for offense is not to take each individual point. The end goal for offense is to take all the points. The end goal for defense is to defend 1 point. So I'm not sure I agree with that. I would say, is the fight for individual points interesting? A lot of times, yeah, but a lot of the times, and again, this is my distaste for the map in general. I'll see the cart get stuck in one spot for 5 minutes or longer. I mean, and that's the cart never moves from that spot from that point on. And it doesn't matter what the offense does, the defense has it locked down. So yes, a fight for an individual point, an individual capture can be fun, but that's not the whole game. And the whole game is taking, all 6 points for the offense. And I think that 80% figure, it has a lot to say about the map.
I do find myself doing something that I know is economically incorrect. If the cart starts to roll backwards, a lot of times I will go, and even though I know I'm going to die, I will go up and jump on the cart to stop it from moving backwards. Knowing full well that it's going to take me more than 20 seconds to respawn, I'm basically trying to buy somebody some time to do something, when really, on the whole, I think that's not an economical decision.
I agree, and I normally do that when we're close or we've only got 30 seconds left or something like that. But if you think about it, if you let it roll back, there's a good chance it's going to roll into a position where they are going to feel like they need to come to you.
That's a good point.
Like sometimes the cart's out in the middle and they've got it locked down because it's out in the middle, but let it roll back a little bit. And now they're like, hey, let's get in there. And now you push it past them, kill them, and win the map.
And plus, it's often better to go in en masse. You know, if you've got, 5 people who are building up, go ahead and build up with them, make the attack with 6, as opposed to just killing yourself and letting the 5 do the attack.
Yeah.
So, I recognize that I do that and I still do it anyway.
I do too.
It's totally compelling. So moving on to listener contributions. First off, we've got some Machinima from Lagspike Films, and they have done a lot of great WoW Machinima, and they did one called Temp Fortress 2, and it was absolutely brilliant. Did you watch it, Spencer?
I have not watched it yet, no.
Basically, what happens is the TF2 players, they end up like losing their conflict, and they have to go out and get jobs. And they're temps, nice. And it's very, very funny, and it's very well done, and I recommend it heartily.
Cool.
We got an email directly from the guy who does Lagspike Films, so we consider that a listener contribution. Regory, one of our the people on our forums and on our servers, made a TF2 Cryptic Crossword. And I printed it out, and I have 4 answers on it. I've done really excellently, I think. Ooh. It is very obscure. It is very hard to follow, but at the same time, it's worth looking at. Additionally, Grains the Vegan Zombie pointed out a no blood mod. Now, I don't know how this is different from party mode, except maybe you don't have hats.
They're sparks.
Yes.
Instead of confetti.
Oh, is it? You get sparks when you get shot?
I still haven't seen this, so
I'm just going off what he said. I haven't seen it either.
So anyway, it takes away all the blood from the game, so that if you don't want to play a really violent game in front of your kids, I guess you can do that. Moving on.
Oh wait,
Oh, sorry.
Oh wait, are you going to a Fritz question of the week?
Yeah.
I know it looks like it's blank there, but it's not.
It does actually. Yes, it is blank, and I considered that to be pertinent.
But
so
he actually
Fritz got off his lazy butt and decided that we were again worthwhile of his questioning attentions.
Yes, apparently.
Awesome.
Hey, Control Point, Ifrit here with question of the week. Here's the situation. You're a criminal mastermind and you want to rob a bank. It's a standard bank with a big vault with all the money in it, and you'll need to pack a punch to open the vault or the codes. You can only pick 3 people to do the job, so out of the 9 classes, which 3 of them would you send to go and get the money? And which 3 do you think will do the best job? See you.
There's 3 people to do a bank heist, and you have to pick them, and you have to pick them from the TF2 people. Well, the spy is the obvious choice. If I had my way, I'd probably just go with 3 spies.
Yeah, whatever. First off, I have to say that without doubt, I am a criminal mastermind, so I take this question very seriously. I think you would have to take an engineer. Spy can't open a safe. What are you talking about? Spy opening a safe? Pff, whatever. And if you're going to actually spend the time to open the safe, safes take a while to open. You have to whack it with the wrench a lot of times before it finally pops open. So you're going to need someone for intimidation. You're going to need the heavy. You're going to need the heavy to stand in the lobby, shouting in Russian, shooting the ceiling, threatening everyone there. Finally, you're going to need an inside man. And I know you're going to say you need the spy for this, but you don't. You don't need the spy. You're going to need a sniper, and I'll tell you why. Because he can shoot people in the head. That's all I really have to say about it. So.
I am absolutely convinced you can get away with this from 3 spies. All you got to do is you have one of the spies pose as the bank manager. You have another one of the spies, pose as a bank robber, and he comes in and the bank manager says, "We need to open the safe. You open the safe," and give him all the money.
But just because he poses as the manager doesn't mean he can still open the safe.
That's why he tells one of his lackeys to open it.
Well, the lackey not going to have the combination.
Okay, then he poses as the branch manager.
How does he meet the branch manager?
What are you talking about?
Like,
your entire pocket's full of holes.
Like
haven't you seen the Machinima meet the branch manager?
I will next week. We'll have it on the show next week. when it's
Brent,
done.
your answer?
I think I would just have to go with a bunch of soldiers.
Big bada boom.
Just blow it up.
Boom, boom, boom.
I just have to say, I think the image of a engineer whacking on a giant safe vault door with a wrench over and over again is absolutely hilarious. So that's what I'm going with.
I'm with you. Okay. Moving on. We're trying to speed things up a little bit here because I'm running really, really late. We had a big Meet the Week. On surveillance, we have Meet the Cow. Have you seen that, Spencer?
No.
Have you seen Meet the Sentry?
No. I have seen Meet the Sentry.
You did? Did you like it?
Or, if it's the one I'm thinking of, then yes. let me check. I'm going to click on it here. Click.
Is that it?
Yes, I have seen this and I did like it. Yes.
Meet the Cow is unique. It is a jolly jaunt into the existential world of, what does it mean to be a big wooden two-dimensional cow?
Cow cutout? Yeah, okay.
So you should check it out.
All right.
Both of these...
I'm not sure I needed to ever meet the cow, though. I'm just saying. I think
no.
I was fine not knowing the cow.
You need to know the cow. The cow's important.
Okay.
Both of these I got from Ubercharged.net. And additionally, Madlep over at Ubercharged.net is in dire straits. His new business office does not have a coffee machine, and he needs coffee. So Madlep,
oh my God.
Madlep at Ubercharged is taking donations. He's taking donations, and everyone should go over and donate to Madlep.
They drink coffee in Australia?
Well, they do other really unsavory things to make up for it.
Sending him a donation from the Control Point team right now.
Oh, sweet.
And that's it for our surveillance. Let's move on to shoutouts. Do we have a player of the week?
I think we do. I think it is probably... I got to get the name. We just got the question in today or yesterday. It was from Tay.
Okay.
Melissa,
Hey.
a.k.a. Tay. She just got a new accomplishment, a new achievement, maybe, I guess. After about 19 days, she has listened to every single episode. And that was
is nuts.
About 54 hours, 23 minutes, 29 seconds of listening to us goofies. So
that averages out to 2.86 hours a day. And let me go on record and say, I would never do this. I would never listen to us that much. I wouldn't do it. No.
It is a bad idea.
And you are hearing voices in your head.
I would like to ask her, after performing this monumental feat, she is in a unique position to tell us which episode sucked the most.
And whether this is indeed the third worst episode of all time.
It already is. It totally is.
I don't believe you.
Snark sent us a Half-Life Platinum Collection serial number.
Sweet.
So thank you so much for that.
Well, that's our show, and it was a long one. I really got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, too bad, because we still have to do the outro.
Oh my God, that's going to be 10 more minutes.
I know, at least. I'm going to drag it out to 12.
Yeah,
you can update our Control Point Wiki page at tf2wiki.net. You can dig us, DIGG, at our website or on the DIGG website. You can join our MySpace group, mushmouth. Our MySpace group, Control Point at MySpace. You can give us iTunes reviews because those are awesome. You can give us thumbs up on StumbleUpon. You can join our Steam community. You can join the Control Point forums. You can listen to TF2 tunes and parodies at controlpoint.muxtape.com. You can join our Festbay. Look for a Wet Star Company. Or you can listen to our Twitters, Nailhead, Devil Turnup, Chaos _CP, and Wes Wilson. Or you can call us at 256-513-4772 and leave a message. You can also listen to the other podcasts on the Dead Workers Party Network, such as Trailer Trash Talk, Random Chatter, Tech Chatter, Lost Chatter, Movie Chatter, all the chatter in the world, Zero Show, World of WoW, Cybermole, and whatever else crap we got. Yeah!
I think that's the most I've ever heard you say ever.
That was awesome.
We should just link that from now on. We should just grab that and use it again. Well, okay. Thank you for joining us for our content show. I hope it was as boring as we thought it was. It's much better when we have no content, I swear.
We're out.
You You are now at the end of another episode of Control Point.
Victory.
Every one of you deserves a medal!
A podcast brought to you by the Dead Workers Party. See the show notes and leave comments for this episode at controlpoint.deadworkers.com or leave us a voicemail at area code 256-513-4772.
Auf Wiedersehen!
Hello, gentlemen. I recently listened to podcast number 42, and I must say that after playing Medic for over 145 hours over the past year, I've never once noticed that I received a point for every 200 health I healed. You're not alone. And I feel slightly ashamed. But it's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Nova, and I have a spy tip for you. Don't stand there with your sapper out waiting for the NG to leave. If you have a sapper near an enemy building, you know that outline that shows, you're not the only one that can see it. Everyone can see it, including the enemy team. Many a time I've been mercilessly murdered just because I had my sapper out in a wrong place, and as an NG, I've seen someone go by cloaked with their sapper out, being a bit too overzealous, and I blew him to high heaven even though he wasn't visible. That's all I have for this week, so see ya.
Hi guys, it's N. Akon calling from Cambridge, Mass. I was the person who was laughing like a maniac at the end of episode 38, but people thought it was Mint, but it was me. I've got 2 points to respond to this week's new podcast. First thing was you were talking about the new health graphic for engineer buildings with the gears, and you didn't sound too impressed with it, but I'd like to point out that for medics like me, or people who play medic a lot, it's really helpful because when you're in the middle of a whole bunch of chaos or craziness or in a crowded area and you're mousing around looking for people to heal and your mouse passes over a half-built building and it looks like an injured person, it's a real distraction and you have to kind of mouse back and look around for the person that you thought was injured and, oh, it's just a dispenser. Oh, well, I guess I'll look for a person. And it makes a big difference to rapidly recognize the difference between buildings and people when you're mousing around like that. The other thing is that you were talking about how medics get a bonus for healing people, about 1 point for every 200 heal points. The actual wiki, the TF2 wiki says that it's 1 in 600. I don't know whether people have been testing it lately or not. But the more interesting part of that is that not only do medics get that bonus, but engineers get the same bonus when people use their dispensers to heal. So that's pretty handy too. Anyway, still loving the podcast. See you online. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Hey guys, it's me, Tim, again. Thank you for putting me in the podcast for episode 40. I just finished listening to it. I do have another tip that I've kind of learned this weekend. I've gotten better at sniping, and the reason I found it is because try to pick paths that are like straight and that have very little cover. Like, for example, on stage 1, cap 1 of Dust Bowl, the middle part has no cover. Try to get spots that you would normally not be seen, like hiding behind houses and all that. And also, I figured out that a way that you might be able to snipe easier is to lead the targets, not try to like follow them, like drag and click and all that. Like try to predict where they're going to run, and right as soon as they cross the dot, pull the trigger, and usually they should be dead. I found my headshot percentage has gone up using that tactic from about 38% to about 67%, which in my opinion is pretty good. I don't know about you guys. Anyway, have a great summer. Also, my birthday's in like 3 days, so just wanted to mention it. You don't have to send me anything or anything like that. Take care, guys. Have a great summer. Bye-bye.
Hey, Control Point. This is Aku, and I'm a rather new user on the forums, and my username is Aku, and I'm just saying that you're doing an awesome job with the podcast. Keep doing what you're doing. It's really hilarious. I listen to it every day, and I just wanted to let you know that you should not stop doing it, no matter what anybody else tells you. So, and also, I've joined your Steam group. My username is I Drink Your Milkshake. So, yeah, okay. Bye.